Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to this video. My name is Justin Colby, and on this channel we talk all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship. And here we're going to talk about how I am buying rentals virtually, never walking the home. I can show you exactly how simple it is. Check this out. Hey, what's up guys? So this video is exciting for me. I am virtually buying rentals in a city I've never been in, let alone the properties I've never been in. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, you know I've been wholesaling and flipping properties for over 14 years. The majority of them have been here in Phoenix, but I have also wholesaled and flipped in markets like Dallas, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, all throughout Southern California and several other states. And most recently, we started wholesaling in the state of Oklahoma, both in Oklahoma City as well as Tulsa, as well as we started marketing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to do the very same. I say all that, guys, to let you know, I'm very excited to let you know, last month in March, I bought and funded 2 of our deals that came to us from my marketing, and we're actually keeping them as rentals to build out my rental portfolio. Now guys, here we are at this house. As you guys can see, this house is a beauty. I mean, when I say beauty, I really mean dumpster fire. But this is why I actually bought the home. Now we are in Shawnee, Oklahoma. I actually think it might be the vacation capital of the world. Totally kidding, it's not at all. But it will be an incredible market for me to be buying these properties to keep in my portfolio. As you guys have been watching this house as I'm talking, you realize, wow, Justin, why would you be buying this house? And my answer is because it makes sense to. Now, let me walk you through a little bit of this process that I have started so you know how to potentially buy your own rental portfolio in a market, a city, or even a home that you've never been in. First of all, I realize some of you guys might be thinking, Justin, you're crazy. There's no way I would buy a home that I've never stepped foot in. Well, I can tell you, this beauty that you're looking at right now, never been in it, never once. Nor is my team until we bought it and now we started having to rehab it. By the way, we are in the middle and almost done with rehab, and I will be shooting a video to show you the update of how the property came out because it is actually looking beautiful. Now here's the idea. I love the BRRRR Method. For those of you that don't understand what the BRRRR Method is or never heard of the BRRRR Method, it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So the concept is pretty darn simple, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this property. All right, for me, I've been in the real estate space for 14 years, as I've just said. So for me, I go out and market in these cities. I spend a lot of money marketing to homeowners to buy directly from the homeowners to remove the middleman as realtors. Now here's a caveat to this. The third property that we are buying, I actually ended up using a realtor and bought it off the MLS. We'll get there, that'll be on another video. For the most part, I spend a lot of money marketing directly to homeowners to find a property that needs some love. And as you just saw, this property needs a whole lot of love. This gives me opportunity to negotiate and ask for a discount based around how much money I need to put into the property. So in this case, the homeowner understood that this home was what I like to consider a dumpster fire. And they initially wanted $30,000 for this property. Now, for a lot of you, you guys are like, holy criminy, $30,000 for a home. And by the way, this home had a tenant living in it when I bought it in this condition. Imagine that. So what I was able to do is I was able to get a contractor over the home. They were able to get me a bid. In fact, I actually brought 3 contractors over the home. I got 3 bids to choose the best one. But primarily what I did is I did it to make sure I could negotiate properly with the seller. Ultimately, it took the seller down from $30,000 down to $20,000 where I bought the property. Yes, I bought this property for $20,000. For some of you, you might be thinking, I can't even get a car for $20,000. And you're right. But this property I got for $20,000 based around my strength of negotiating. Now, I am putting in $53,000 into this property, which brings me all in at $73,000. Now, these properties in this area were mostly built in the 1930s, this one included. And so I know for the most part, I can get around 800 to 900 max, totally maxed for rent. Now, here's how I buy properties in the BRRRR method that financially makes sense for me. Check this out. All right, so before you check this out, smash the like button. The YouTube gods love that, and it makes my channel go viral, which can help more people buy rentals. So make sure you're smashing the like button and make sure you're subscribing to my channel. With that said, here's how I buy my rental properties that make sense for me to financially. Now, I have a financial partner in this arrangement, meaning I do all the real estate. I market, I find the property, I negotiate, I contract the property. He brings the money. I then find the contractor, I negotiate with the contractor, I build the rehab budget, and we start rehabbing. I then have to go out and find a property manager and get the property rented. The entire real estate business is on my shoulders. The entire financial model is on my partner's shoulders. So when we do this, how we like to acquire is we want to make sure that our purchase price and our rehab budget are all in roughly 1% of rents. Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Rents are 1% of the all-in budget. Meaning, if I'm all in at $73,000, ideally I can at minimum get $730 a month or more for this property. That's roughly the 1% model. I'm very confident because I did rental comps that I'm gonna get above $800 for this property. So that's benchmark number one, is I wanna have rents to be 1% of my all-in cash acquiring and rehabbing. Now, the part number two, we are a little off on in this property. Ideally, in my ideal world, and what I would suggest for you guys, is to find properties that you're all in, buy and remodel 75% of ARV. ARV stands for after repair value. You want to be all in at that number because once you are all in, the remodel is done, you've placed a tenant in there, you can refinance. So now you're at the refi stage. So you can go to a bank, whether it's a local bank, a credit union, or a larger bank, and you can refi your capital out of the property. Now, banks typically won't lend above 75% of ARV, which means all of my money in, including the rehab, needs to be 75%. So let me do a little bit of math, because essentially this home will not comp value appraise. You might want to leave that one in, by the way. Yeah. So I would tell you, you want to make sure you're 75% of where the appraisal is going to come in at ARV. So I believe that these homes in Shawnee, Oklahoma, essentially all, if they were built in the 1930s, roughly around 1,000 square feet or so, they're all going to appraise around $80,000 to $85,000. So this is where we made a little mistake, and it's not a terrible mistake, but the bank is only going to give us back 75% of the top value. So let's say it appraises for $85,000. Well, what's 75% of $85,000? Hold for me. Trusty calculator. It's also a phone. It's also like a spaceship. I don't know. This thing does it all. It even holds my money. So $85,000 times 75% is $63,750. This is how much money the bank will give us back once we finish this property, remodel it, put a tenant in there. They will give us back $63,000 and some change. Well, I told you what I'm all into this property for. I bought it for $20,000. I'm putting $53,000 into it. I'm into it for $73,000 plus some closing costs. So we're still going to be leaving in there let's just round it up to say $15,000 is gonna stay in the property after we refi out the ability cash out refi. So we made a little mistake there. I really should have bought this home at $5,000 and or did a smaller remodel. Now, as you guys just saw, this property is a dumpster fire. I probably couldn't got away for doing much less. In fact, there's absolutely things that I chose not to do to save a couple dollars. It could have very easily been a $70,000 remodel. That being said, I am okay with leaving $15,000 into this rental property because it's gonna be cash flowing at over the 1% model. I love building wealth. I wanna be buying 2 to 4 of these every single month. So if you like this and you thought this is pretty cool, in fact, you were looking to maybe even do it yourself, smash the like button, subscribe, but even then, go to thescienceofflipping.com. If you're looking for someone to help advise you on virtually wholesaling, rehabbing, or maybe even virtually buying rentals, and you want to talk to me or my team about coaching, go to thescienceofflipping.com, fill out the very easy form. Someone from my team will talk to you about that, and I'm happy to see if I'm a good fit for you and you're a good fit for me to coach you on how to do the exact same thing. Again, guys, make sure you're liking this video. Make sure you subscribe. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And by the way, we're gonna do a part 2 of this to show you the transition from what it looks like now to what it looks like after a rehab. And also, I wanna do another video about another rental property that we bought last month and give you a breakdown of that. And then another one for the third property that we bought. I'm gonna be buying 2 to 4 of these every single month. Oklahoma is in a crazy, awesome, wonderful market to be buying rentals. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, leave them below. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.